Well, hello everyone. I'm glad you're here, coming back for some more thoughts. Hopefully, we talk about some things that everybody can benefit from today. Today, I wanted to talk about authenticity, about being ourselves, the pros and cons of that, maybe the societal impacts of that, the personal impacts of that, how authenticity or masking create situations that affect our happiness or affect the way we see the world and what does it really mean? So I guess the perspective I arrived here on is as a new content creator here on YouTube. I've had the adjustment period or I'm in the adjustment period of trying to figure out what works. I'm doing different things. Sometimes I'm sitting, sometimes I'm standing. I'm trying to, manage, I don't know, angles, lighting. Still doing a terrible job on all those things, of course, but I'm playing around with it. But one of the things that started eating at me is there are things that I do that aren't necessarily something that feel like it's me, or it feels like I'm doing certain things because it's what an audience might expect of me, or it might be what people expect of me. And truth be told, I don't want to fail at authenticity because I don't want people here that don't fit me. Like, if you want to watch my stuff and it engages you and it makes you think, it helps you approach problems in the world differently. That's what I'm after. I'm a thinker. I think that knowledge is the answer to virtually every problem that we have. And I guess I fear conforming to some character that is a YouTuber. Whereas my goal is for me to be a YouTuber. And I know that's probably not a clear distinction for everybody out there, but like right now I'm standing. I'm standing because my chair bounces, I bounce when I'm sitting down, but instead I'm doing other nervous things. Like, I'm a nervous person. I move when I'm nervous. I think a lot of us show that discomfort that way. And I guess until I get better at this, until I feel better about it, I guess we're all just going to have to deal with that. It bothers me, but I'm trying new things. Maybe I thought maybe standing today would work better. I'm not sure how that's going. I'll just have to think about that and decide what to do going forward. But I guess another thing I'll bring attention to is here I am standing here in a tank top today. I've been wearing other clothes, but the truth of the matter is when I'm inside my house, first thing I do, I like, tank top and sweatpants or shorts. I like comfort. And when I'm in my home, I want to be comfortable. And I guess until such a time as I'm not shooting in my home, I want to be comfortable in my home. And I guess I'm afraid that if I just come on here the way that I am when I'm at home, that will bother people, or that they will see me as less professional, or that I don't care about the visual part of my channel, which kind of I don't. I'm not a visual person, um, but I'm working in that medium, and it's kind of disrespectful to an audience expecting a visual medium that I didn't put any effort into at all. But there are parts of the visual that I'll put in there. I love my hair. I will flaunt my hair. I can't imagine putting my hair up in a video. I love showing it off. I love my hair. And so some of it is natural. I would never go out into public without feeling like my hair has been managed. And so I'm okay with that. I guess I'll let my hair get squirrely at home, but look, I'm not getting on here with garbage hair. Just not doing it. But so many things about this process have started making me question, what am I sacrificing? Like, when I go to AI and I ask it to summarize, why can't I write my own summary description? Why have they do? Well, part of it's efficiency, part of it's um, the fact that I think AI is going to be an aggregate of other people's opinions, and so I think it's going to reflect uh, aggregate behavior better. And I have a unique view of the world. So the way that I want videos titled, I could just, I guess I can use help bridging that gap between the way I see the world and the way that everybody else sees the world. So I like using AI to make the descriptions, to summarize different points. If you want to skip around my videos and just only hit the topics that interest you, I want to have things like that available in the description. But I don't necessarily want to spend an hour for a 10-minute video doing all those things. And so when I can just do some copy and paste AI magic, voodoo, I do that. But is that inauthentic then? Am I delegating something in a highly personal space, a highly thought provoking space? Am I delegating that to something that doesn't even have opinions on things? And I guess a video for another time would be I'm not convinced AI doesn't have something we would recognize as sentience. I'm not convinced that's true, and I think anybody who is convinced that's true is distorting how AI seems to be working. I think that's my opinion. AI isn't my expertise. I was a computer programmer for a long time. I understand what code does and how it works, and even with that knowledge, I think that anyway, that's another video. We don't have to get into that. The problem is that I'm really trying to address is it inauthentic? Is it masking to have AI write descriptions? And I don't know. I guess I'm not here to answer the question. I'm here to pose it. I'm here because it's on my mind. I'm here because I'm doing a new thing, and there's a certain amount of thought that needs to go into making my content consumable. And there's a certain amount of thought that needs to go into how the systems choose things. And like anything else, is conforming to something like the magical algorithm, is that conformity masking? Is that giving up your authenticity? Is that, in effect, giving up what makes you you? Because that's what masking is sacrificing you so that others are comfortable with what you show them. And it's a really complicated problem, and I think it's even lost on a lot of people because I don't think a lot of people actually understand the concept of freedom correctly. And I think that these concepts of authenticity and freedom are inextricably linked. Because if I actually have pressure to be something that I'm not, and that pressure is significant enough to make me do things I don't want to do, then I'm being coerced, right? By very definition. And coercion is a violation of someone's free will. That's what it is. And how do we reconcile a deep need for freedom and authenticity while trying to manage in a world? A lot of people like looking at these concepts as like social constructs. I only have to do these things when I interact with society, right? Right now I'm on YouTube. I have to do the YouTuber things, like have descriptions and fancy titles and all of these things that get people's attention so that they'll watch. Well, is that what I want? Do I just want to draw in the endless masses so that they can come in, see my content, and I don't know, I can stroke my ego over it? I don't know. I hope that's not why I'm doing it. I hope I'm doing it because I love ideas and I love the exchange of ideas. And but man, the pressure to conform, the way that the numbers work, the way that the likes work, the way that descriptions and man, I could get lost in the math of the algorithm for hours and just ponder the way that it might, function or work or ways to, outsmart it. But would any of that result in more authentic content? Would any of that result in higher quality output? Because what I want is to have ideas that are high quality ideas that people struggle with, and toss my point of view out there, and then compare it to what I know about other people's point of views. Um, and and I don't know that it's going to give me a lot of answers, but I think that's one of the things I've learned. The journey of self reflection and self improvement really, really, really seems like all you end up with are a bunch of disappointing answers and more questions than you started with. At least that's what happens to me, or at least that's what it seems like everything results in, because I'm now at a place where I have unending questions about things that I don't know if any of them will find answers to ever, let alone like in my lifetime or something. I just don't think that's coming. Philosophers have been thinking about the kinds of things that I ponder for centuries. I mean, millennia. They're philosophers going back 3,000 to 4,000 years. Beyond that, if you want to count, like I mean, you talk about like the Old Testament, biblical times. Some of those people were real. We're talking about shit 6,000, 7,000 years ago sometimes, and they're sitting there thinking about deep subjects like morality and societal behavior and conformity. Like they're wrestling with all of that: governments, control, taxation, all of these complicated world problems that I don't think we're any closer to solving than we were 3,000 years ago. All we did was figure out new ways to build bigger so that we can collapse harder the next time. I mean, look at like what happened to Romans and Greeks. They collapsed. Their technology was irrelevant in the end. And it's always going to be that way until something about us does something different. And all of it seems to lead with this concept of conformity. Like some of the things going on in the world right now, I think people support and are behind ideas that I don't think they understand. I think they're swept up in something that they're afraid of being left out of. I think that people are making choices because they don't want to be on the wrong side of what's going on, whether they understand either side or not. I think that people are making choices because they don't want to be excluded from their friends that disagree with them. So they'll just start agreeing with their friends so that they don't lose their friends. Like social isolation is literally one of our biggest fears. And I guess having faced it, like I like to joke that my ex-wife got all of our friends in the divorce. And that's just a thing of human nature. People pick sides, and they do what's going to keep them in the group because there's security in the group. And that's one of the reasons we conform, right? Like we conform to be a part of a group because we see the safety of that group. Is that a good reason to do it? I don't know. I don't know. I have endless questions, and I don't know how to come up with the answers. And I guess I don't always know what to do with things like when I'm doing something new and I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And I feel like everything I'm doing is some phony layer I'm putting on myself. I guess in some ways I'm touching on this notion of imposter syndrome. Like I'm standing here and, I get up and I get out of my pajamas to shoot a video. Is that inauthentic? Is that normal? Should I do that? I don't know. These are questions I'm wrestling with, which is why I'm talking about the video. I think by now we've got a pretty good concept that I'm not looking to assert everybody should think the way that I do. I just think everybody should think a lot more than we do. And I guess all I have is the questions. All I have is the challenges to authenticity and how that impacts my free will and the fears that go forward with that. But I guess I've chosen that I'm going forward. I guess doing nothing was a form of complicity and acceptance of the way the world is. And I guess Gandhi said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." And I don't know, I like to think that I've spent a lot of time reflecting and I've spent a lot of time becoming a better person and trying to understand the world around me. I've spent a lot of time trying to shed my rage and my fears, which the fears, I'm still afraid of everything. I am literally scared. I'm afraid of going outside. Like all my breath, like I can feel my respiration go up just by going outside. I like it in my home. I'm safe in my home. And man, is the world terrifying out there. But I haven't done anything, and now I'm doing something. Is that inauthentic? Like, do I even know enough to be out here talking to people? I mean, I don't know. So, so I guess this is a thing. I guess I'm just sharing this to think about, to give people a basis to feel okay that we are gonna feel like we're doing something outside ourselves sometimes, and it's up to each one of us to choose what we're gonna do. We still have the choice of what we're gonna do and go forward. We still have the choice to be us or conform. We have the choice to value social isolation over social acceptance. We all have these choices to make, and one of the ways I guess that I have survived over the last number of years is that I've withdrawn from society. Of course, there's an alarm going off outside. If you can hear that, I'm really sorry. It's very distracting to me. But but here we are. Um, I guess I'm probably just going to continue talking in circles, and I respect your time more than to do that to you. I guess I've articulated some of the thoughts. I haven't really answered anything, but just remember, it's important to think about being you. It's important to think about who you think you are, and it's important for you to define you, because if you let everybody else define you, they're going to define a you that benefits them, not you. And I guess one of my favorite things that I tell people, one of my favorite statements is, from your perspective, you are the center of the universe. You are important, and you've been given the life that you have. I don't know, I don't care about deity, spirituality, whatever. The truth of the matter is your consciousness in your body, that's you. That's a uniquely you thing, just like mine is me. And I have the choice of what I am. I have the choice of what authentic means to me. And I have the choice of what I do to conform for social acceptance. And you have all those choices too. And I guess I just believe that it's better to make a choice for yourself than to let the choices make you. Um, so with that, I wish you all well. If you're here, I hope you got something out of it. Feel free to do the button pushing, like, subscribe, dislike, nasty comments, arguing with me in the end. I'd enjoy them all. But until next time, goodbye.